Hi, Chris. Hope you are doing well. Looking at the camera here. Sorry. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's a nice sunny morning. There's snow on the ground, but not very much. So it's going the right way. We're getting
Good.
towards the better weather.
It's the summer is coming, at least for our side here. I don't know how long it's gonna take for for you guys to have it, but
A little while yet. It's
yes.
still well below freezing.
Yes, it has been, I think, 3 months now that we have published with Core Magic the book Thriving in the New Vibration, the new volume, which has book one and book two. It's a pretty big book. How is it doing from your side? I know you have offered a course about it. So tell me, how are things and why is it so important to get back to this book? And when we are talking about the guidebook today.
You've actually brought up a very good point. We wrote this book because we felt that with the way the world changed in 2020, our spirit guides convinced us that we had to start working on ourselves to make ourselves better suited to live in this new environment, because the world has changed. It's not just a cosmetic change, it's a vibrational change. And because of that, we have to work on ourselves to get ourselves able to thrive, as we say, in this new vibration. So we wrote this book, and we're pleased to see that people are beginning to embrace it. We've recently run a course, and we got very good feedback from the course that basically it's getting people to look at how to look at their life in a different way. Because it's very easy now with all the negativity and problems in the world to get sucked into that negativity. Whereas we've got to actually raise ourselves up and focus on where we want to be, what we want to achieve, and life as we want it. And this is what our book does. It basically takes you through all the stages of how to work on yourself. Mm-hmm. It's a self-help guide. The spirit guides are there to help us all the time, but we do it ourselves. We don't need outside gurus. We basically can, with the help of the book, we can go through and basically improve ourselves. And this actually brings us on to the new book. What we realized was that not everybody knows how to start. And so we've generated a little workbook and journal that's like a companion for our main book. Our main book has all the information in it. It's well structured, and it's your reference. It's where you go to if you need to find information. Mm-hmm. But how to start is sometimes difficult. So we came up with the idea of this workbook whereby you can ask yourself questions. You can use a pendulum or the sway test to get answers of where you are at the moment. Mm-hmm. And the book basically is divided into 4 sections. Plus a journal. So we look at what is our life purpose, what our beliefs are, because our beliefs are so important. The way we see the world is determined by our beliefs. Mm-hmm. So we look at that. Then we look at the negative influences that are affecting us. And last, we look at basically how do we look after our body? Because our body is basically the carriage or the shell that allows us to experience this life. And if we don't look after it, it obviously can't do a very good job. So the more we look after our body, the better we will be at experiencing this life. So we have those 4 sections in the workbook. And then we have a section which is devoted to improving your communication with your guides, because this is the way you get information. The guides are always willing to help us, but we just have to be ready to listen. So in the workbook, we've set up a section where you can practice automatic writing, which is the easiest way to communicate with your guides. You ask them a question, start writing, and before you know it, your answer is there. So we put space in the book for that. And we've also put space in the book for journaling, because it's important to write down what's happening so you don't forget things, because we are changing all the time. And it's interesting to look back on a journal to see how much we've changed and how much we've grown, and to appreciate that we're actually making good progress. So this is where we are. We've got basically the book, and as you say, it's now a 2-volume book, because we felt that you needed to have access to the way to deal with these issues rather than just explaining what they are. So the first part explains what's going on and what's happening, and the next part explains how to actually deal with this and how to work on yourself. So it's a complete reference guide. There are courses available, so you can run through, and we can actually help you progress through and work with this material. And now we've got the workbook, which we're really excited about, because you can now get down and actually quickly get into finding out what's happening for you and what you need to do. Yes. So it's exciting time.
It is. I really love the workbook when I saw it, how it is inside. And you have even added some charts that we can use with the pendulum. And you have added also some self-exploration questions. And I find it very diversified and touching different spheres of our being. As you said, like the physical, the mind, the emotion side. It's kind of like a whole. I didn't think it would be like that, because, I thought it would be a journal like with blank pages. But when I saw it, it's like, this is a book. This is not a workbook.
It started off small and it grew. It was one of the topsy-turvy things that what you end up with is not what you started with. And you're right. The more I started putting questions in there, the more it sort of triggered me to look at, well, I need to know this. I want to know this. And we also felt that the structure we put into the book, with the pendulum charts, there's maintenance charts. We recommend that you do a weekly and monthly maintenance, and we provide charts in there which show you how to do that. And all these things are there to help you. So if one thing doesn't work very well for you, there's another part of the book that will. So you'll find the parts of the book that really resonate with you, and you'll get a lot out of it. And we priced it so it's affordable.
Yes. I think, for those who want to get the guidebook or the workbook, I think it's really important to have the book, the big book, because even the workbook, you have put a lot of information, but I feel like it's really important to have a basis also of how you work and what we mean with this spiritual geometric shapes and the grids. These are expressions that we don't find in other practices. These are really kind of a new way that you can add to your practice.
You're absolutely right. The guides have given us new information which has not been available to the world before, and that has been put into this book. So we're able to use the latest information on how to work with raising our vibration and living in this new vibration, because the world is new for everybody. The world we're living in today is so completely different than it's been before. Mm-hmm. And our guidebook gives the pathway and the way to actually deal with this and live this life and get the most out of it, because we're here to learn, we're here to grow, and our book actually helps you understand how to do that. So it's a very exciting time. You look at the world and you think, what a mess, what crazy things happening. But it's also a chance for us to grow and learn and to accelerate our spiritual growth, which is what we're here to do. So it is an exciting time, but you can't do it blindly. You need guidance. And this is where our book comes in and our workbook comes in and the course.
And actually, I really love the way you bring it, because it's not just this way. And this is one of our new ways of living in the new vibration, which is, it's not just that, it's a whole vision. It's a combined vision. You can combine different practices at the same time. You can combine different tools and use them at the same time. Actually, what I find really interesting about putting information into a workbook is that there is a lot of information out there. Everything is available through videos, courses. There's a lot of information, but what can we really embody at the moment? Because this is where resides the difficulty sometimes, is that we have the abundance, it's all there, but what do we choose and how do we apply it and use it concretely in our daily life?
You've used the right word. What do we choose? We have such a choice available to us, but we have to be very careful, because our choices are very powerful and they basically determine the way our life path goes. And what I like about the workbook is it gives you a little taste of various things. So you can start to see what resonates, what doesn't, and what you need to explore further. And then when you know what you want to explore further, you've got the main book there to refer to.
Chris, I don't know why I'm having this inspiration about the practice and asking you about painting and how painting also helped you. And it can be also a tool for people to get in touch with the informations you might have put. But anyway, I'm just putting it out here.
Yeah, and all creative things are a way of getting in touch with your true self. And one of the questions we ask in the workbook is, what gives you pleasure? What do you do for fun? What do you really want to do? And for me, I like painting. When I'm painting a picture, I'm actually in the scene. If it's a restaurant scene, I can imagine myself sitting there with a glass of wine and a beautiful meal, sitting outside and watching the world go by. And I paint that away, and I'm painting the scene, and I can see the scenery, and it's all coming to life for me. If I see a house I find fascinating, and when I'm painting that, I think, well, what's it like inside? What would I see if I opened the door? And I'm painting away. So it's a way of expanding your vision. And I do paint a lot of paintings.
Yes, and it's really interesting because one of the vibration I feel in this new planet that we are getting into is that vibration of the child as an archetype, the child related to innocence, to play, to new discovery, expansion, knowledge, new there is all these characters is linked to the archetype of the child. And actually it's not really a child, it's our true nature of soul, I believe. It's just allowing ourselves to embrace it.
Absolutely. Well, my voice is starting to go, so maybe we'll wrap this up shortly. But
sure.
I really appreciate you talking to me like this, because it allows me to share with you what I'm feeling and why we produce these books. And it's such an exciting time. So I thank you for the opportunity to share this.
You're welcome. If you can just give me back the administrative role, that would be the point to close our talk. While Chris is doing that, I just encourage you to discover Thriving in the New Vibration. It's available on Amazon. Let me just put it here. And the new workbook that I still didn't receive because I ordered it like just yesterday. I have to receive it soon. And as soon as it's done, I'm going to present to you a little bit more detail, this book and the workbook that comes with it. Thank you very much.
If you want to see the picture, I can actually show it to you.
I think I'll put it in the cover of this video.
Yes, do that.
Yes. Yeah, I would do that. Thank you very much, Chris. And I hope to see you